Yes, so that's the ideal goal that you have here, to get control but don't push too fast. So this is why when you watch like challenger Caitlyn players, they try to distribute, like they do 2-3 auto attacks but on different minions, and if they do it on only one, that means they really want to push. Maybe the enemy team has a Sivir and they are scared. But usually distributing like auto attacks on different minions is better. You can also get one on range minions, because if you do one auto attack on the range minion, the range minion is gonna briefly auto attack, like walk up right here and auto attack you, which will make it nicer for you, because you're gonna be able to slow push better. But hey, how are you doing? So you play League of Legends, the game that everyone hates and loves at the same time. You might feel frustrated about your teams, or maybe it's your gameplay. Maybe you feel a little bit stuck, or you simply can't carry hard enough. Which is absolutely okay, because I am a League of Legends coach with more than 3,254 people coached, players that improved really hard from bronze to diamond, platinum to master tier, or they simply got out of low elo, or some of them even got to grandmaster plus. Here is someone that got from gold to master tier with the help of my premium personalized coaching. If you're looking to get a free OPGG review, an analysis of your stats that will help you understand what are your biggest mistakes and problems, and more importantly, how to fix them, I'll tell you if the champions that you play are good for climbing or not. All what you have to do is go on my stream, twitch.tv/izazlol, follow it, and when I'm streaming, ask for some help. It's so simple. Do it right now, it does not cost anything. Follow my stream and find what you're doing wrong instantly. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You really don't want to miss out what I'm going to post here if you actually want to climb and improve hard. See you on the stream. Hello, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing?
Doing good today.
Ready for the coaching session?
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I saw you change your name. Do you change your name a lot?
Every once in a while when I feel like something new.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. That's what I do as well, but I do it with skins usually. So I see. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at your PGG. So you should be able to see my screen right now, theoretically.
Yes, I can see it.
Perfect. Let's see. Perfect. So what is your name? How should I call you? My name is Andrew. You can call me Andrew. Coach Andrew.
Oh, hi, Andrew. I'm Mari.
So what is your goal in League of Legends?
I'd say right now I really just want to get to gold.
Okay.
The highest I reached this season was a silver 199 LP, and that's been haunting me. So
Okay.
I've been really unlucky with the amount of LP I get per games. So I want to get to gold. That's the big thing. I think once I get to gold, I can kind of decide if I really want to keep playing. Right now I'm on like a clash team.
Okay.
So I just want to get a little bit better so I can help my team out a little bit more. Everyone's kind of like silver, I would say, silver to gold team.
Okay. So I am in a clash team, and I want to be able to help my team more. If I will play after. Okay. Perfect, Mari. Okay. So what holds you back from getting gold?
I think the biggest thing I know for sure that I'm struggling with is like CS for sure. I think the wave changes that have happened recently have like really messed up my pacing with CSing. I feel like I do okay in terms of like trading and positioning in lane, but I definitely struggle with team fights, like where I should be. I know like my damage is kind of lacking in terms of team fights because I play really nervous, like really cautious as an ADC. So I kind of want some more feedback on like how I should be prioritizing and positioning in team fights, because I feel like that would probably show like the biggest impact. I know I struggle also around the mid game, where, you know, if we one lane and waves are pushed out and that kind of stuff, I don't know where I need to be on the map. I kind of flounder in terms of what I should be doing, what goals I should be looking for, especially if there's nothing clear, like there's no objective on the map and there's no lane to push. So I guess I think those three things are the big things that I would like some feedback on.
Okay, perfect. So to recap, CSing, team fights, and macro in the mid game. CSing, what do you mean? Do you miss farm or?
Yeah, timing and missing a farm, I would say. I guess sometimes I get caught up in like doing extended trades as well, so I miss farm. I just don't know where I should be right now for like the level that I'm at.
I see. Okay, good. And your champion pool right now? What is your champion pool?
For ADC, it's pretty wide, I would say. I would say probably my best ADCs are going to be like Jinx, Caitlyn, Miss Fortune. I'm trying to pick up Kog'Maw because he's been kind of fun, so I've been trying to play more games with Kog'Maw lately.
Jinx, Caitlyn, Kog'Maw. Okay, and Miss Friendly, yes, okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let me take a look at this. So we're having 500 per minute here, averaging 5.7. That is definitely low. 6.2 is decent for silver. 5.3 is below average. I mean, it's average, but this will mean that you're farming a lot, like you're farming really good, or you're not doing damage in your team fights because you're farming too much. So this is low damage, so definitely red flag. Let's see if it is constant. Yes, okay, so Bren does 2 times more damage than us here. Then this one, we have 13 kills. Still not gonna be able to do the most damage in the team. Malphite jungle does more. Okay, I see. So this can mean team fighting, like either like what to do in team fights and how to position it, when to walk up and to auto attack, or maybe you're split pushing too much, you're staying too much on the side lane, not grouping after the first tower, prioritization of farm too much. We will see today. Perfect. I'm super happy that you got some VOD reviews, you said, right?
Yes, I have 2. Whatever we get time to review today is fine.
First game first. Okay, so you played against Nila, you played against Yuumi. You wanna look to push, you wanna look to poke, you wanna look to get prio. The only risk in this lane, I mean, against Yuumi, it's pretty easy to pre-play because you only have sustain. You have to be careful with the Kindred, but Kindred with Yuumi and Nila, they don't really have too much setup in terms of the gank. So you should be safe. So all what you have to do is to get prio, make big waves, slow push, and try to slowly build it into, crush it into the tower. How much gold do you need ideally to recall for the first pack?
I at least want, like, depending on what item I started, my 1300, so I can buy my noon quiver or
True.
whatever.
Okay. What are the other options?
That I wouldn't know off the top of my head, I'm sorry.
It's okay, no worries. So you can also go Berserker Boots. Some pro players prefer that when they really want to like push it super hard and just farm. But exactly. But just as a rule of thumb, if you go for Noon Quiver, a bit of attack speed, a lot of AD, you can't go wrong with that. So you should keep it simple. I think it's fine. Some, of course, we're going pickaxe, longsword for the maximum AD is very good as well. But as a rule of thumb, 1300 gold as an ideal goal to recall is good. It's important to think about these things because you want to know you will have openings where you have the gold and you can't really get free plays or kill them into the tower, in which case you can obviously always recall and play from there. So we need to keep this in mind. Okay, you don't leash, so you have a significant lead already. You're trying to hit the minions a little bit. That's fine. I wouldn't really hit only one minion, because if you hit only one minion, like 3 auto attacks like you did, the minion is gonna die faster, which means
I'm going to probably end up missing it, and then these other ones are going to take damage, and it'll be harder for me to secure these. So I should be distributing auto attacks between like the first 3. Should I be hitting?
And if the first one dies and you push it too fast, what happens? Are you trying to push it here, or are you trying to get control of the lane?
If we end up pushing them, get to us.
Oh, sorry?
Oh, so if I take that minion, the wave is going to just end up pushing, and we're not going to be able to keep it there in the middle.
Yes, so that's the ideal goal that you have here, to get control, but don't push too fast. So this is why when you watch like challenger Caitlyn players, they try to distribute, like they do 2-3 auto attacks, but on different minions. And if they do it on only one, that means they really want to push. Maybe the enemy team has a Sivir and they are scared. But usually distributing like auto attacks on different minions is better. You can also get one on range minions, because if you do one auto attack on the range minion, the range minion is gonna briefly auto attack, like walk up right here and auto attack you, which will make it nicer for you, because you're gonna be able to slow push better. But again, this is a very small thing. Just
Is it better to get the front minions or to try and get the back? wave?
I would do 2 auto attacks on front first, so I don't really lose any of them, and then 1 on the back is fine. Like 1 auto attack on the back is fine. I wouldn't really kill any minions. That's not the goal to push. So as long as you don't go for too many auto attacks, you go for just a few on the melees and just 1 maybe on like the range, and you're completely fine with the slow push. Okay. This is fine. This is really, really good so far. You played it very nice. Then now you're just walking up a little bit. You take the minion. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're a bit hesitating right here. You do have the crit, and as you can see, you could actually hit Nilla, or you can just back off and get this minion. The disadvantage of getting this going for Nilla is, well, you lose the minion. The advantage is that you get a crit on Nilla. So how do we decide? Should we get the minion or should we get the Nilla?
Gosh, I can't remember what I ended up choosing. I feel like the trade with Anila would have been better because my support is positioned up.
Yes.
So I should have probably followed up.
True. So your support is up, but in terms of what you get, because as an AD carry, it's very important to think about your reward, realistically speaking. So you lose the minion, but you hit Nila, or you get the minion, but you don't need hit Nila. As a rule of thumb, how would you choose between going for more poke or going for the minion?
I don't know. I feel like in this situation I should have gone for the trade or the poke because I have my ADC, or not ADC, my support up there.
Yes.
And they're coming into us.
Yes. So the concept...
And we have the wave that'll go into them.
Exactly. So the concept is, if you know you can get a significant trade on Nila, which with the crit as Caitlyn you can, it is worth considering missing minions to get poke, because realistically speaking, if I would be like, if I know that I lose, let's say 2 minions, but I get her to this HP, I would lose 2 minions, because eventually I'm gonna lose 2 minions, but then she's gonna lose a lot more because she's gonna get zoned away. So the concept is, if you know you can get a significant trade on her or a significant amount of HP, and this is usually like 2 auto attacks to 3 auto attacks, you can always consider missing some minions early on. So you take the minion, we waste the crit, but then you beautifully walk up right here. Very nice. Also remember that against Yuumi, you should always position it yourself where?
Behind the minion, so you can block the Q projectile?
Yes, either behind the minions or just in between the minions. Like here. Of course you can't stay here because Nila is here, but just like super close to the minions. Usually if 2 minions are, like, let's say we have 2 minions here, we want to stay between them, because Yuumi can only Q like this. She can't really do this angle, this curve anymore after the nerf. So she can only use, so she has this range where she can do this with the Q, but then after a little bit, after the initial range that she has, the last part of the Q is just straight. So if you stay in between the minions or behind the minions, like you said, it's good. Let's see. So this is good. You played it pretty good early on. So for your MMR Silver 1, you played very aggressively. In Silver, Caitlyn like this, they don't play, they play even more safe. Of course, if I would compare you with like a Diamond player, you didn't play it that aggressively, you wasted your auto attacks, you could have walked up more confidently, but Silver, it's fine, it's good. Now you walk up, your clicks show me that you're walking up with the Lux, thumbs up for that, really good. Here, you're walking up, you're hitting, good, you're not scared. Here, you miss the minion, but you go for the trade, so you actually did that concept that we talk right now. And now you're looking to slow push, which is absolutely amazing. Looking to push here would be bad. You can just look to zone and slow push. Absolutely wonderful. I'm super happy with this. Beautiful. So you're pushing right now. Okay, if this is a challenger player, what do you think a challenger player would choose to do in this case right now, right here?
I don't know. I feel like we should ward because we're pushing up really far at this point.
True. But true word, exactly, and it's 2 minutes and 23, so usually junglers can gank you after 2:35 worst case, but majority of the cases after 2:55. Okay, but in this case, okay, word, but why is this timing at this exact moment good wording?
I don't know, try bush so that we can see the most obvious gank because we're on.
Okay, yeah, so the position of the word, that, okay, tribal, sure, it's a good word, but why is the timing, like, why is now? And I mean, you can get played first and go for a word, or you can just go for a word, like you can go for a word, you can go for a word now. Why at that time? Why at that time? Why at this exact time we have to go for a word?
We've got the wave pushing, so they're going to be occupied with that, and that gives us some time to move up.
True. So one, we've got the good wave, so they can't follow up for the river. Okay, how many minions do you lose here?
I don't think we lose too many.
Exactly. So the wave is right here. It didn't even meet your wave. So this is why this is the perfect timing to go for a ward. Because one, you just push the wave, and two, the minions didn't even meet. Like for example, if you're going for a ward, but the enemy wave is right here, and the minions are like low HP, by going for a ward, you will miss the minions. So you would have to consider pushing first and then go for a ward. But in this specific situation, since you don't really have any minions to take, you can immediately go to the brush and just ward. Thank you, Jimbo. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So at this point, you should just go for a ward. Beautiful poke, beautiful poke, beautiful poke. Because you see, at any given time, if Kindred wants to come, she can. But I hope you're gonna... Nice W. Good.
I forgot she blocks with her W. With her W, I think it wasn't abilities, but she blocks auto attacks.
She blocks... Yes, she blocks auto attacks. It's a 26 cooldown, so it's a 2.25 seconds. She blocks auto attacks, and it's 26 seconds, so it's a lot. Yes, it's a lot. So also she reduced magic damage from the abilities that she's taking, but your Q is physical damage, so it's fine. Okay, good. So right here, beautiful chunk. Obviously right now you need to push the wave. What should we do after this, after we push the wave?
I don't remember if we stayed to get plates or ward, because at this point I feel like Kindred's coming, because I remember Kindred roams at some point and Lux dies.
True. So obviously the main goal is to get plates here. So another player could say, yeah, but she wants to get plates. I mean, it's good. What do you think? Because you want to get plates, but Kindred. So in this case, if you're like, hey, they are low, kind of low, I can pressure them, I can also get easy plates, we have a big wave, but there is a risk. The risk of Kindred. So right here, you can simply go for a ward first, and then just go for the pushing the plates after you go for a ward. Of course, the ward can be in the tri-bush, which can always be good, or if you want to be faker, you can put it right here, so you can see both ways, Kindred like this or Kindred like this. In fact, I would put it here if I'm not sure. It's safer.
What are good places to ward as, and especially for bot lane? What can I do as like a bot laner? Where should I be dropping my wards?
Where should you be dropping your wards?
Yes.
Or as bot lane?
Yes, because I know I can throw them in tri-bush. I can throw them in other brush. I know sometimes the support will walk up and try to get deep wards, but where should we be like positioning our wards? I think the best thing is to try and get like information. Obviously, we don't want to get roamed on by mid, and we don't want to get roamed on by jungle.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb, if you play Caitlyn at this point in time, you can just go for a normal ward in tri-bush and you should be fine. If you're super scared, or you know that if you want to push the tower, tri-bush is pretty good. If you know that he comes from the river, you can just put it right here. It's pretty good, because you can see him going like this as Kindred, or him coming from the river, so this is pretty good. Tri-bush is pretty good if you want to hit the tower. If you play defensive, this one is very good. Like if, let's say, I'm Nila now, and they can dive me, which is not the case because I'm level 2, but if they can dive me with jungle, this ward is good. If I'm playing into the tower again, this ward is really good as an AD carry, like over the wall, because it covers this entrance. So there are a lot of... This ward over the wall is fine, this one from here to here is fine if you're Caitlyn and you're playing safe, but as a rule of thumb, this one should be fine, this one should be fine, tri-bush should be fine. You can keep it simple. Yes, a challenger player will tell you that the deeper, the bigger the size of the wave is, the deeper the ward you can get is. For example, with a huge 3 waves crash right here, you can also go for a deep ward here. But that's just super situational. If you have this kind of wave, it's not small, but it's not deep, so I would just go for like this ward or this ward, and then I would use the time that they clear the wave to hit them. Because you see, you're playing a little bit too aggressive without thinking that Kindred is here.
For sure.
And then we try to space. You don't have W, unfortunately. And then we do this thing.
I hesitated too much to get that last auto, because I was like, I didn't want to get hit by the tower, and we also didn't know where Kindred was. I don't remember if it's this time that Kindred ganks or after.
Yes, so here you see how
I
much
feel like
time
I
you play
could've
aggressive.
killed you, yeah.
Well, 100% you could have. 100%. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Okay, good. So you try to push. We played definitely too aggressive. And let's see what's going to happen right here. So you're trying to push. Okay, tell me a little bit more about the wave right now. How is the wave right now?
The first two are gonna die, and then there's the last three, so they're going to, I think, stall right there instead of pushing all the way in, unless I shove the wave.
True, they're going to stall. Okay, true. And what is going to happen in the next 30 seconds, let's say?
What happened? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I have like the memory span of a goldfish.
No worries. But what should happen here with the waves?
Should we be crashing it right now and then trying to ward?
Okay, we could that. But if you let the waves like this, what is going to happen with the waves?
It'll stall here. It'll hold in this spot, I think.
True. And in a minute, what is it going to do if no one touches it?
I'm sorry, I don't remember who it's gonna push into.
Yeah, so let's say in this state, if I'm not here with Caitlyn, Lux is not here, Neela is not here. It's a custom game, it's a practiceful game. What is going to happen with the wave in this specific state?
I genuinely don't know, I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's think about the next incoming minion wave that comes from base.
Okay, they're gonna have more minions. So
True. How do you know? How do you know?
Because these first three are gonna die, and then the ones in the back are low, and then the waves are pushing faster, so then they're gonna have those three, and then the wave that's coming.
And where is it gonna come? Like in what? Into who?
It should come into us. Is it going to meet
exactly? Okay, so where? So where does the next wave met here?
Like, in the middle?
In the middle right here?
Or a little further up?
Here?
The other way, a little further up, I don't remember.
So if our wave is right here into the second tower, what is the enemy wave? If our wave is here in the second tower, what is the enemy wave?
Should their wave also be at the second?
Of course, it's right here. Okay, so then thinking about this, and thinking that this is the middle of the lane, thinking about this wave, their wave, second wave, and our wave, second wave, which wave is gonna meet closer to the wave that we're talking about, this wave?
Their wave is gonna meet up first.
Perfect. So when this wave is gonna come right here, it's gonna make a big wave. What is this wave gonna do?
It's gonna push into ours, and they have more minions this time.
Exactly.
They have a few from the.
And if your wave is coming into you, and eventually you're gonna stay here, you're gonna have a wave into you. You're gonna eventually have the wave close to your tower. Is that beneficial or bad for you?
It's bad because it's not a good situation to back in. I usually have the wave pushed out so we can recall. We should have taken advantage of like warding and then resetting.
Okay, so right now you're saying that you want to recall?
Not immediately in the situation. I think what I really wish we would have done in this situation is ward first.
Okay, let's say you see Kindred top lane right here. So you would like to recall in the next 15 seconds?
If we get that shoved out, because I don't think I was thinking that far ahead to be like, okay, there's another wave coming, so it's gonna push mid, so that's gonna end up pushing into us. So I would have just been like, I shoved this wave, let me go recall. Because I probably, at that point, did I have enough gold?
So you have 500 gold. So yeah, so it's okay. So
we stayed longer here at this point.
So you could recall if you would be forced to, even with 500 gold, but you don't really have enough for Rune Quiver. And even if you had enough for Rune Quiver, realistically speaking, who needs to recall here? You or Neela with low HP?
Yeah.
So it would be very bad to recall right here. Anyways, so you shouldn't really be thinking about recalling here. I mean, okay, if you have the Rune Quiver and she's full HP and you're like, okay, but we can't kill her into the tower. I know I can't get played, so I just choose to push and recall. I would say, yeah, sure. I agree. If you think you can't pressure her in the tower, if you already have Rune Quiver, or you don't have HP and you're forced to recall, absolutely. But in this case, we're not really forced to recall. So this is why. What are the advantages of letting this wave to come into you? Because we said that this...
We can last it and freeze it or
Exactly, exactly. And you can just poke the Nila. How will she feel if you're here freezing and she's low HP?
Yeah, she can't follow up anything without
Exactly. You're right. If you can get plates, it's always better to get plates, push like a maniac and do your thing. But since you don't have vision, well, because we didn't work, but since you don't have vision, it's safer to be like, hey, I want to win. I want to get plates, but I would only push like a maniac and get plates if I know where is the jungle and I know I'm safe. But in this case, I'm not sure where is the jungle. I don't have wards. So it's still beneficial if I let the wave to come into me and I freeze. Yes, it's not so much reward as getting the plates, getting the poke, putting the traps, but it's a good reward because they're still gonna lose minions and I can freeze here. So here, in other words, you should just let the wave to come into you here. Because when this wave comes here right now, the wave is coming into you because we have 2 minions here. And we have 3 minions and they have 2 minions. So this wave is gonna be, so what's the difference between our minions and their minions here for now?
We have 3, what is it, casters? And what are those 2 casters?
Yeah, 2 casters, 3 casters against 1 caster. So right now, it's 1 minion differential. Meaning that if it's only 1 minion differential, our wave that is coming right here is not gonna have enough time to actually go here. So in other words, this can't be a freeze for them. Because if we would have, for example, 4 minions extra here, or let's say we have 6 minions here, and they have 2, then how many minions differential they would have?
If it's 2 to 6, then it's 4. So
4, so they can freeze. They can freeze. But since it's just 3 casters against 2, so it's 1 minion differential, they can't freeze because this wave is too powerful and 1 minion difference is not really enough so it can actually hold for so long so our wave has time to come. And so this wave is coming into you, so all what you have to do is to let it to come into you. And the worst thing that you can do is walk up, try to push or try to go for a poke. We should look to 1 with the wave, let it come into us, and 2, go as fast as humanly possible to go forward. But again, you see now the disadvantage of going forward now is that you're gonna lose minions because there's a difference if you just crash the wave and go forward, and there is a difference if you try to go forward now when the minions are hitting each other. So you have to be very careful with these things. And then okay, Kindred probably just came soon. Very nice try. Then you pushed. Let's see. Kindred dies. Okay, so we're gonna stay here for a while. We got the Yumi. Okay. And then you try to push. And then you look to recall. Very good. Very good. Just a little pattern. Like when you recall, you want to recall in a safe position. So now the vision that they have is this. Look at this. So right now,
I didn't need to walk all the way back to tower.
You see?
Safer.
You see? So this is why this is just one pattern that we identify, but we're gonna identify a lot. This is why your KDAs look like this. It's not because you play safe, it's because you play overwhelmingly safe. Like a silver greedy player would recall here, but he's greedy. And a diamond player that is safe would recall here. You're right that you wanna be safe. But if I recall here, I'm a bit too much, right? Because okay, I'm not gonna recall here. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to risk it. I can just recall here. It's fine because look at the vision that they have. These minions are here. This is okay, so you can't recall here because this would be still a bit greedy in case they are walking up. So second brush, because here you're like, okay, but I want to be safe. Yeah, true, but you are safe. Okay, but I want to make sure.
I told you I play really nervous.
yes. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine. And here, of course, like if it would be a pro player, he would also E backwards so he can get faster to the lane. Like here, for example. But that's just a small thing, so not a problem. Okay, then they are getting the lane. Let's see what you're gonna do with the wave. You're looking to slow push, which is very good. Pushing would be only the case if 1, you need to go on the river, or 2, you need to push and recall, or 3, they are solo into the tower that you can kill them and it's free. In which any other case, slow pushing is very nice. So you're chilling here, beautiful. You're slow pushing. One last hit, very good wave management. Okay, perfect poke. What should we do with the wave here? With the wave,
It's gonna stall there. I don't know. Should we push? Because it's not like we can freeze it at this point because it's going into them.
Exactly. So let's see. So you're saying, should we push? Well, if you stay here and poke, I mean, that's advantage because, you know, you can chunk them. You know, you can just, they're going to walk up for minions and we can poke them. What's a disadvantage of that, though?
We're pushing ourselves up a bit too much and we still don't have the wood in that side.
Exactly. So this is why in this case, it's very important to like shove the wave. And then after you shove the wave, you can go slowly to go for a word. And then you can just play from there. So that's what you should have done. Because here we slow push a little bit too much. And here you should just fast push and then get away with this situation. Because the more you stay here, the worse.
Yeah, I worried because I saw the Kindred mark on me. So I was like, oh, we're about to get ganked.
And then here, it's Kindred, so don't worry, he's an AD carry. He has some slow, but they have Yumi, so you shouldn't really be paranoid. You should be paranoid if... Okay, they have Nautilus with Elise. Hobby, yeah, be scared, it's Nautilus with Elise. But in this case, you can just go and go for a ward here. This is good, this is good. This is the first good word that you put. Position was also good, but also the fact that you push first and then you go for a word, it was good. So early game, overall you're playing... You're playing good. If I would really have to compare you with like players that are silver, 100% you're playing better early game. So with this lane that you have, okay, yes, wave management can be a lot better. Yes, wording can be a lot better, but you're not trying to get platinum. You're trying to get gold. So here I also really want to say that I really like that you stayed because you are low, but the wave is coming into you and she's also low. So you stayed. I thought you actually would have recalled, considering how safe you'd like to play. But this is good. You stayed, you take the wave. And then you also try to push another one. This is very, very good. And then you try to recall. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so what I wanted to say is that this laning phase can be calibrated, can be like, there are many things that you can do. Walking up more confident, not hesitating, warding better, wave management better, these kind of things. But just for a gold 4 status, I don't think this is what's holding you back now. And then here when you're pushing, you gotta be super fast, like you gotta be instant because you're on a timer. But why are you on a timer here?
Next wave coming and then coming in if I want to hard push.
Exactly. So you gotta push really fast. You need to queue, auto, you queue these minions. You should stay here and queue all of the minions. Because you're gonna be more efficient by queuing all of the minions. Like these are like macro management that you can have in the lane. Because now, boom. Because you didn't push it fast enough, what happened now?
The next wave got there, so it didn't crash into tower.
Yes.
Now they can pick all those minions up.
Yes. Is there a reason why you go now like this and not like this?
It was the auto pathing. I remember I clicked and it just like auto pathed me there.
Oh, okay. I see. No, not a problem. If it's just that, it's fine. Perfect. So let's see what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's see this wave. Perfect. So right now, this wave is... How is this wave?
It's coming into us.
True. How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know it's coming into you?
The amount of minions on each side.
True. So what are the options here in regards to what you can do with these minions?
So they have 4 there, 3 there, and then we have 3 here, so we can just last hit and freeze it if we wanted to.
True. What are the advantages of a freeze here?
We have vision in that bush, so we're still protected in case Kindred wants to gank, which would be a terrible position to gank for Kindred right now. So there's no reason for them to come down. And they could clear the ward, but that's about it. But then we know where Kindred is.
True.
And we also have more vision in the river.
And then what about the Rek'Sai? Would he be happy by you freezing here?
Yes, because that gives Rek'Sai an opportunity to gank.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you're pushing here, but what are the advantages of pushing? Because it's good that you're pushing. Well, there are advantages of pushing. What are the main advantages of pushing here?
We have vision, so we can push up a bit more.
Okay.
I don't remember what side of the map Kindred showed up on.
So can she be bought? If you don't know where she is, in solo queue, you need to expect that she's bought. Even though you kind of say, okay, but she shouldn't be bought. Yeah, it's true, but what are you going to do? Assume something in solo queue where people just do crazy things? So you can't really assume that she's not going to be bought. That was Chili. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So in this case, what is the main advantage of the pushing? Because the fact that Kindred can gank you is more about the disadvantage. But what are the advantages if you push?
We get more plates.
True. You can get more plates.
That tower is super low.
Yeah, you can get plates.
We have more range on the Nyla and the
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Out if needed. And we have the wave going with us, so they have to respect the wave as we poke.
Exactly. So you can look to push, you can look to get plates, you can look to poke them. That's good. The thing is, if you freeze here, well, if you push one, you don't really have a big wave. You're gonna have 3 minions and then maybe this wave.
The other wave is slow, yeah.
And you're also gonna overextend yourself if you push. So if you knew that you can actually push it in time and you can get plates and it's safe, I would always push. But if you're not sure, it's always better to play it safe and freeze. So the worst thing that you can do right now is
push.
Yes. Which you're doing. You see that? Because now Rek'Sai is like, what the fuck? I wanted to gank, but now the poor guy can't do it. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you so much, Kurt. Thank you. Super important. Yeah. Okay. Then you go for a ward, which the ward right here. I mean, you push the wave and you're not really losing minions. Okay, so the timing of the ward is not bad because you're not really using any minions. Yes, you didn't crash, but as you can see, the minions are full HP. So theoretically, it would be a good timing for a ward. Practically, what should our priority be? Option number 1, get vision. Option number 2, push the wave. Option number 3, go for the Drake.
I think I word and then go for Drake. I don't remember.
Okay, so you can word and go for Drake. Good. So what is the worst possible thing that can happen right here?
Our Rek'Sai is like taking dragon but is getting kind of low, so if I don't assist, Kindred could probably kill the Rek'Sai.
Okay, good.
If Kindred is on that side of the map, I could choose to go to push and then try to hope that the Rek'Sai gets it by themselves. If I go up to river, they're gonna know that we're probably making a play for dragon because there is a ward in that bush, so they know I'm walking up.
Okay, good. So I mean, okay. So what can happen? If you face check this brush? Because you're saying like Rek'Sai, but what about you? You're right. Exactly. Like theoretically, you have the wave here and you see them on bot lane. So if he's not doing Drake and you're putting the ward, the timing is not that bad because you see them and it would only be Kindred to E. The problem is that he's doing Drake, so if Kindred jumps on you right now, you can't follow for the Drake, you can't push, so you're not gonna be able to help in any way because realistically speaking, even if you stay in the lane and you push hard, you're still helping Rek'Sai in a way. Like, how are you helping Rek'Sai? Yeah. Like here, worst thing that you can do is going forward at this point in time when he started the Drake and we don't have the wave fully pushed. Like here, you should be like, hey, I'm gonna stay on the wave and I could instantly follow for the Drake, not even pushing the wave if it's urgency or he really needs your help. But in this case, well, he's half HP. The Drake is 4.8k gold. It's not really that urgent. If he was low, or if I know that he's gonna die there, then I'm not even gonna push the wave, and then I'm gonna move there right away. But in this specific situation, it was more important to push the wave because Rek'Sai could have waited like 10 more seconds more. Super important. So now you're doing the worst thing. So not only that you face check, but you also take this ward. Now you don't even see them. So this can lead to you dying a lot. This is very unexpected because I saw your KDAs and I would suppose that you don't do this kind of things, that face checking but at least you're trying to. So you're scared, but you're not that scared. So that can be also a good sign. Let's see what you're gonna do. So you're gonna push. Okay. And then do we die here? We use the flashes. I see. Okay. Good. So let's see. So how is this wave right now?
Pushing into us, and it's a cannon wave.
True. So do you think it's do you think it's like, what are the options here that we can do with the wave?
The other wave is going to come catch up. Could I have frozen here?
Okay, so let's see. So what do you need for a freeze to happen here? Let's see.
Is that wave a cannon wave too? Or the red one? No, it's a regular wave.
Well, so if this wave, like, what is what is their wave here now?
It's 4 minions.
Yes.
Well, 3 regular and what is it? 1 melee, 2 caster, 1 cannon.
So what do you think here? Is this freezable? How many minions do you need to freeze?
Wasn't it like 4 regular minions? I don't remember.
Okay, so it's 4 minions, true. So the cannon is basically counting as 2.5 minions. So do you have enough here?
We have a bit too much, so I need to trim it down.
You need to kill like 1 melee. You can kill or even 1 caster because the melee is like this one is 2.5 minions, like 2 minions and a half in a freeze, roughly speaking. So now you could freeze. The advantages of freeze is where you're safe. They're gonna walk up. You can poke them, or you can push. The advantages of pushing are, well, it allows you to recall. You can eventually get plates. The disadvantage is that you can get ganked. So what do you think we should do right here? Because obviously Rexa is gonna leave after this gank. What do you think we should do here?
If they weren't low, I feel like if they were gonna stay in lane, I should have frozen. But otherwise,
True.
if we were planning to recall, I should have just shoved the wave.
Exactly. Exactly. So if we wanna know what we should do here with the freeze or not, we should look at your gold. So you need 1.2k gold for the I think you need 1k gold for the item. So you have 350 gold. So you're not really looking to recall. So then what should you have done here?
Frozen.
Exactly. So you see how much you're losing because you're actually giving them free farm. Because now they have 52 farm against 67. This could be 80 against 40, which is huge. And you see, you wouldn't even get, because you're saying that your problem is team fighting. You wouldn't even get your team fights if you improve your lane. The fights are going to be so insignificant. But we're going to talk about the team fights as well. Let's see. So here you're pushing, but then as you can see, you're giving free farm to the Mila. Like and this is why this is happening, you know. Other players, when they will review this, they will say, oh, you should have done this, you should have healed or but the problem is that, well, you should have frozen a while ago, so you wouldn't be in that position, you see. And then we just have to stay, okay. And then we do this, we die. So what roles did you play again when you started in season 6?
When I first started, I had a friend who wanted me to just play support because they wanted to play ADC, and they were a very mean friend. So I played support for a little bit, but I hated it because I wanted to play ADC. So I stopped playing with that friend and started playing ADC. And then I would play, I'd say probably like ADC mid and top. I have a couple champions I can play in each role because it kind of helped me understand playing bot a little better.
Okay.
That's kind of why I played some support and some jungle. Because then I could understand a bit more about like timing for rotations, and I could also understand kind of like how a support thinks to position.
Nice. And what are your best champions on? You said mid, top, and ADC. So on mid, for example.
Mid, I'll play a lot of, I'll say Malzahar, Lux, Annie.
I see. Okay, so you play Malzahar, Lux, and Annie. The problem is that these champions are gonna force you to play super safe. And they're not really gonna teach you about trading too much, but we'll see now. Okay, so let's recap. So you died here, and let's see. So you're going to bot lane. Okay, let's see. So right now you checking your waves usually when you're going to bot.
At this point, it's already pushing. So once I get there, will the next wave be back in time?
Okay, so once you get here, what did you say?
Oh, sorry. So I'm seeing that the Lux pushed out the wave, so that's going to go crash, but it'll take a little bit because it's got 4 minions and a caster, or sorry, not a caster, a cannon. So by the time I get there, I'll get there with like my wave, but gosh, I don't know where it's going to crash at this point. I don't know if it's going to be too pushed into them and then I can't really do anything except get plates, but then I'm overextended.
True. So then right here. Okay, so let's see this one. Right here. It crashed. It's gonna crash right here. What should you be doing right now?
Should I be going to roam or set up for like a dragon or something?
So if you're gonna stay right here, what are you gonna get if you stay on bot?
If I come back there, I'm gonna have to push because I can't freeze it if it crashes right there.
True. So if you push, can you die?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can't just go there and push here. it's gonna be super greedy, super greedy. So here you can always, so when you play in mid game, like now it's almost mid game, you always have to pay attention to the wave, as in move your camera to the wave to see what's going on. Like now, if you see this wave is fully pushed, you can go there and like keep pushing or try to do something, but you always have to compare that alternatives. Like what's the alternative here?
I don't know what else I can do. I guess I could set up for dragon because it looks like the timer for that is getting ready to go
Yeah,
off.
but you going for you going for
Kindred
Drake
Arc.
is a bit iffy because you, like realistically speaking, you're not going to be able to start it and get it because you don't have smite, so anything bad can happen. So then what options do we have here? What do you think? Oh, 1 second. Oh, yes? One more time? I didn't hear you. True. Okay, good, but then that's not your job. Your job as an AD carry is to get farm, get items, and help only when you're able to help. Like, getting Drakes, staying around marks is a bit force for you as an AD carry. That's not your main goal. So what do you think is your main goal? True, so we can't really go bot lane here. Yeah? Well, what do you think here? Yeah. And even if Ornn is there, you can still get something. So this is fine that you go towards mid. You should keep going mid and you should push this wave with him, and then after you push him, you should go back to bot. This was a very niche decision, so it's very hard to do this when you're in the game. But what we learn from this is that at any given time when you play, always look at your waves when you're getting into the lane and always ask yourself, can I get something else without losing too much on other lane? And you can just go there. Okay, now we get the tower, which is good. And then you go to mid. How much gold do we have? 800 gold. Okay, so theoretically we've recalled after the tower and go mid, but you actually ended up going mid. Okay, that's not that bad as long as you're gonna play for some specific items. Okay, here, let's see. So what are you trying to do here? Okay. So you want to stop the Herald push? Wait. So what were you trying to do at this point? Okay. So it was, I see. I see. So at this point in time, what should you be thinking about here? Like 1 second. Like right here as an AD carry. When you see this map right here, where should you go? What should you do? So what are the options here, first of all? Yes. On bot lane? Yeah, so it doesn't really matter that much. So what do you see right now? You see a wave on mid lane. That is how much? Is it pressuring you in any way? Well, it's not really pushing you into the tower, or no one is really pushing it, so not really. Nila is pushing bot lane, so you could go mid, but she's pushing bot lane, and it's not like you have 4 items to say, fuck you Nila, I'm not gonna move bot, we can take the tower, I'm gonna go mid and group, and I'm gonna kill all of your teammates. Because if you have 3, 4, 5, 2.5 items, you can do that sometimes. You can give up the fact that she's gonna get a significant advantage on bot lane, and you're gonna actually choose to go on another lane because you know that if there is a potential fight, you'll definitely be able to win the team fight. So right now, are you able to win significantly the team fights? So you can say you yeah, so if you play, generally speaking, I play AD carry, I have an item, Syndra is having an item. I have an item, Garen has an item, top lane Sunfire. I have an item, Ornn has an item. How do you feel against 1v1ing an Olaf with one item and you have an item? How do you feel like fighting against Syndra with Ludens when you have Stormrazor? Exactly. So this is why you're not strong enough to make this decision making that are gonna involve you into losing farm. Because now this is what it is. I go mid and I fight, but I lose bot wave and tower, or I just go bot, catch up my farm, and then I'm gonna play from there. And realistically speaking, this is what you have to do in the mid game as AD carry. You have to be able to make the balance between, hey, I'm strong enough to fight, so I can give up some waves, and 2, hey, I am not strong enough, I'm just gonna prioritize waves until I have some items, and when I have some items, I'm just gonna push the bot wave if I can, and then I'm gonna rotate mid to stay mid. But in this position, you should just go bot, because this guy is pushing. Look at this. The moment you see this, okay, just going towards mid, you didn't even see the Herald. If you see the Herald first and then you go mid, I would say, she was thinking that she's gonna give up the bot tower, because the mid tower, I mean, you can lose 2 towers mid. So she was going on mid lane because of the Herald. But do you see your movement here? Look at this. You were going to mid lane anyways, and you weren't even checking the map. So this is why your mid game macro is not good. It's because you're probably not able to adapt based on what is happening on the map, and you're not able to take information and use it. And what we should do is that we should consciously and actively be thinking about options in the game. Like now, Nila was pushing, I could get away, and the advantage is I get 2 ways, but I might lose mid. Or 2, I'm gonna go mid, but if they're gonna push mid, I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna lose the bot tower. And realistically speaking, what kind of influence do I have as an AD carry at one item? I should only go mid lane if I'm forced to go mid. Okay, if the Nila is here pushing here, like wave is here, then I have a lot of breathing room and I have a window to go towards mid. That's right, and you can stay mid. But in this specific situation, it was bad that you go to mid lane. Yes. So this is why, and then now you're trying to join your teammates. This is also very bad. And I'm not sure if it's because of the duo or not. So why is this very bad? Why is this kind of tendency of, hey, I'm gonna move on the bot lane? What do you lose here? So as an AD carry, it doesn't really matter what the team loses. As an AD carry, you have to think about, how can I get my items? How can I get some more farm so I can be able to be strong enough in teamfights? So what should an AD carry at this point think about? Exactly. But there are situations where you're not really farming the wave and you're going there. There are situations where, 1, you have so many items that you know you can get pentakill there, or a significant advantage like a double or a triple, and that's usually happening after 2 items. You can force it after an item and a half if you're strong, but that's after 2 items, or if the fight is super close to you. So right now, in terms of the items, you have an item, so you're super weak. So in terms of the items, you shouldn't follow this. But in terms of so there is items, when it comes to making a decision between getting the mid wave or going bot, you have to take 2 things into consideration. 1 is how many items do I have? So like this leads to you understanding how much impact you can have there. And 2 is the distance. How big is the distance that I need to travel there? For example, if you have 3 items right now, then obviously you can fight there. You can just go there because you're gonna smash everyone. Yes, you lose 1 wave, but losing 1 wave when you have 3-4 items is nothing. Like, and 2 is the distance. If you don't have the items, but the distance is, let's say they fight here or they fight here, and you can go mid or you can just stay with them, of course you help them. You consider helping them because they are close to you. So in terms of the items, you should not follow. In terms of the distance, what do you think? It's way too far. Exactly. So in terms of the items, we shouldn't really make this big commitment of going bot lane because we're not strong enough. In terms of the distance, same thing. Absolutely same thing. I think my okay. Let's see. 1 second. I think I made some settings. Okay. And then you do this. You see, but this I'm not sure if this is because you play duo or if this is this usually what you're doing in the game?
What? I'm sorry, specifically as to what? Like,
this kind of like things where you give up waves and you just get into team fights, like here, for example.
That's consistent, I would say. I don't think that has to do much with playing with the duo.
I see. Okay. Because here, look at this. So here you have option number 1. Well, you pushed mid, you're not gonna overextend. Option number 2 is, you're not gonna go bot. You can take camps. You can take wolves. The Rek'Sai is not really here. Or you can just go and follow. But your job as AD carry is not to do this kind of. You're not playing Lux support to roam to. Let's see. So you push this and then look at this. Let's see what we're gonna do. So options are 1, push another wave because it's right here. 2, go to mid lane. The distance says no, you shouldn't move there. The items says no, you shouldn't move there. There is also one more factor that I didn't tell you. It's the urgency. If the distance is relatively medium like this, but there's a huge urgency to go there, you can always group also at 1 item. You can do that. Sometimes teammates are fighting. So based on what you see right now, do you think it's urgent to move there?
No, because the wave's already pushing and Rek'Sai's there, and we don't really have a lot of vision on the top side either, so we don't know.
Exactly. Like, okay, now, again, you could have taken the wave easily, or you could have just even recall, or you could just move, and moving would be if like 3 people are in a big fight, you want to go there, they are inside of a fight, they started, I would go, but it's not really the case. Plus, the first question that I asked you when we started the coaching, because I knew this is a mistake, I asked you, what is the most ideal base goal that you want to go for? And you said no quiver. So this is what you should constantly do it in the game. Because now you have Stormraiser. So what is the ideal amount of gold that we want to recall on?
For next item? Or?
Yes, for next item.
I don't know, not off the top of my head.
So what item do you buy?
I think at this point you start building into Mythic.
Okay, to Mythic. So what Mythic?
I believe it was Gale Force. Yeah, Gale Force.
Gale Force. So Gale Force, I will help you. You have BF Sword here. You have Zeal. And you have Longsword. BF Sword is 1300 gold. Zeal is 1100 gold. Longsword is 350. And you need 650 more for the item. So you need to recall this. This is not really. 350 is too bad. So 1100 gold or 1300 gold. You can also do a combination between these two. Like if you have a huge amount of gold and you're like, hey, I need 100 more gold and I'm gonna get Zeal and BF. You can do
So I
that.
need to try and base when I have components, or at least major components.
Ideally, yes. That doesn't mean that, okay, I don't have BF, but I'm on HP in the lane. The coach told me to stay. No, you just recall there because you're gonna die. If the risk of dying is high, or you have 0 mana, 0 HP, you can always recall, consider recalling even without having the ideal component. The problem is that it's the third time when I press tab and I see that you have just overwhelming a lot more than you have the item in base. Because you see how much you moved on the map?
Yeah.
This is the mid-game macro. Mid-game macro is 1, being able to understand when to go and catch waves, and 2, like on what lane, and 2 is when should I recall, when should I go base. This is why you're not doing that. It's a part of it. So you have 1.1k gold here. You have 1.1k gold. Okay, so now you have 1300 gold. So you could say, okay, but I could recall. Well, true, but again, remember, if there is a big risk of dying or there is an urgency on the map, you can also consider staying if you have full HP, full mana. Like now, they're inside of a fight, and well, the initial decision was bad because you started it from here. But now the fight is not that far. So if we have to try to analyze this specific decision based on the distance, the fact that you're moving there is not bad. So you're moving, this is good. But again, we have to always remember that we have enough gold for the item. And let's see what we're gonna do. And then now you go to mid lane. So your decision making right now should be, hey, I should have recalled right here, but I got forced to stay, which is fine by my teammates. No problem. I try to follow. But now I push the wave, I stay, and then what do I do after?
I should recall because I'm sitting on a lot of gold.
Exactly. Like, look at this. Everything here is bad. Everything what you're doing. And this is why Lux died. Or, well, oh, this is Nico. Okay. So maybe you got baited. So if you stayed because of Nico, it's fine. But now you have to recall. Like you don't have to stay. You have to play around a specific... And here, recall. Same thing. Red flag. Nothing is going on. Like you had to be tracking, and you had to have like a burden. Hey, I have 2k gold, I need to recall. You should have recalled a while ago, but then you got a bit forced of your teammates that they actually were inside of fights. But now, for example, you're not forced of anything. They're not really fighting, they're not really doing anything. So you had to recall. The thing is, you had this exact moment where no one was fighting, no one was pressuring anything, and you could have recalled. This is the biggest thing that is holding you back. And to be more clear is your timing of recalls, your wave management, and your macro. These 3 things. Because now you end up being top lane, which again, you should be a Drake, you should be with the team, you should be... This would be... Like if we fix this, it would be very, very nice. Because your laning phase is super good. I'm kind of sad that we don't have time for a live game. Because in a live game, we would fix these things. But at least now, you know what you're doing wrong.
Yes. Oof. Yeah, that Kindred was a menace, especially once Yumi started sitting on top of the Kindred. That game was hard.
Okay.
Later on.
Oh, sure. Yes, the problem is that you're level 12 right now. And he's level 14. But why does this happen?
Oh, why is the fight happening, or why is Kindred ahead?
Yeah, why is he ahead? Why is he so ahead?
Kindred's ahead!
Why do you think he's ahead? Oh, sorry?
Oh, he's really fed. He just got to take advantage of a lot of people mispositioning.
Yeah, but why are you 2-3 levels down of the game? You're level 11.
I'm not farming enough.
Exactly.
I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I'm not picking up my items when I need to be.
Exactly. Because if you would also be better at team fighting. Because if I'm fighting with 3k gold in the inventory, I mean, of course it would be so hard to fight because I'm playing with a handicap. So personally, I don't think it's really necessarily your positioning or when you're approaching team fights. It's more about like when you're recalling and what items you're really fighting on. That's like more important, I think. Okay, good. So let's see what we learned in today's coaching session. Okay. Perfect. So what do you think are the main things that we learned at today's coaching?
So understanding a little bit more about wave management and how we should be taking advantage of that during the laning phase. Where I need to be on the map at certain periods of time. Starting to gauge like what's the urgency of being at a place at a certain time. And
Perfect.
that I really should be focusing more on like my gold output because I need items to be effective in the game as an ADC.
Perfect. Okay, wave management, that is... The mistake is like this. We are perma pushing and we are not considering freezing whenever it will be impossible to either get plates or we will need to overextend versus the overextend pushing while not knowing where is the enemy jungle. The solution is freeze when you are not safe to push, or get free plates or free kills under the enemy tower. Okay. Yes. Macro rotations. Mistake is we are fighting way too much and we are grouping way too early when we don't have minimum 1.5 to 2 items. You did it at 1. Plus we are fighting and following also when the fight is really far. Solution is take into consideration the items you have, the items you have, 2, the distance you have to travel to get there, and 3, the urgency that the fight needs you there. And recall timings, understanding better. Okay, so having more clear goals on at how much we should look to recall based on the gold. Okay. And I think so needs immediate fix for biggest improvement. I think macro is definitely the third thing. Wave management, it will help, but I think the recall timings both in the lane, like just having a clear goal on the recalls is super important. Super important, because it also happens in the lane when you're like, hey, should I freeze or should I push? Well, I don't know, look at your gold, and if you want to stay in the lane, you should look to freeze. If you don't want to stay in the lane and you have like 2k gold, then look to push. Of course, there are situations where you can also recall and let the wave froze there, and then when you come back in the lane, it's frozen. But if you're not super confident on when you should do that, then just play it safe and just push the wave whenever you want to recall. I think we need 50 games on AD carry to apply these things, and I think that it will be very helpful for you to watch the session one more time minimum. Any game on mid lane is going to help you to actually get better, and on support, as long as you play useful champs that can allow you to get to that. Because if you play Malzahar, that doesn't mean you play mid lane. You're not learning anything. If I play Yuumi support, I'm not learning support. That doesn't mean I play support. That means...
What champions would you recommend then?
Anyone that can trade actively and that can win the lane. Orianna, Victor, Vex is good. Mages are also good.
Vex. I like playing Vex. I can play more Vex.
Yeah. Swain is fine. He can trade. Nico can work. Any is not bad. Just try to avoid champions that are very safe. Vladimir is worse. Malzahar is worse. Lissandra, super bad. Rise, like people that just scale and play around waves a lot and safe, they are very bad for learning League of Legends.
What about Sylas?
Sylas can work, yes. Okay, so let me give you the session record.
For those of you who are struggling winning and climbing in solo queue but are serious about getting better, I also do coaching for players that want to improve and get their gameplay to the next level. Coaching can't make you better if you just play normals and ARAMs and don't like playing ranked, or you don't care about improving, you just play for fun. Or let's say you just play the game for like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours per week, and that's about it. Coaching doesn't help you. Coaching can help you if you feel hard stuck, if you struggle carrying games, if you want to stop wasting time auto-piloting and not learning anything, if you run into a circle for a long time, if you want to find out the mistakes that hold you back, or simply maybe you have problems with the wave management, maybe you feel lost throughout the mid game, maybe you struggle with the decision making, macro, and you just want to learn how to do it properly from a professional coach. Or let's say you have difficulties checking the enemy jungle and you die a lot to ganks. Or simply maybe you just want to learn how to carry 1 versus 9 so you can actually climb and stop really wasting time. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and book your own coaching now and start improving instantly. I'll see you in the session.